Hello, Victor.
Right. Hey, Maxime.
Hi, hi. Okay, should we start the webinar now?
I think so.
Okay. So welcome, everybody. My name is Maxime Chagnot. I'm a Catia expert working at PLM Group, and I'm here together with my colleague, Victor. Victor, do you like to present yourself?
Sure, yeah. My name is Viktor, and I work at PLM Group, mostly with the Simulia and the simulation tools that we offer. Back to you.
Okay, so welcome to this webinar that introduces you Catia on CAD using the 3D Experience platform. So, hi everybody, my name is Maxime Chagnot. As you can hear, I am French, and I'm also a Catia certified specialist working for PLM Group since the beginning of this year, 2022. Previously, I was working at PLM Technology, that was a Dassault Systèmes Nordic reseller of Catia and Simulia products. And last year, PLM Technology has been acquired by PLM Group. So the good news is PLM Group can now sell Solidworks, Catia, and Simulia products. When it comes to my experience, I have over 10 years experience with Catia and 7 years experience with 3D Experience Platform. And I am located in Oslo, Norway. So back to you, Victor.
All right, my name is Viktor. I have a background as a mechanical engineer, material science, with a bit more focus on finite element analysis and simulation. So not so much Catia really, but I have been working with Solidworks since 2017, which is also when I joined PLM Group for the first time. And I'm based in Stockholm, Sweden.
Okay. Okay, so what can we expect from this webinar today? I will answer these three questions. What is the 3D experience and how it can optimize your ways of collaborating? 3D experience, how does it work? And what is Catia 3D experience and how can it improve your ways of working as well? The reason I did that order is that I really want to for you to understand what is the 3D experience platform before we talk about Catia 3D experience. So let's start. What is 3D experience and how can it optimize ways of collaborating? In this section here, I will present you the company that developed the 3D experience platform, Dassault Systèmes, and then the 3D experience platform itself. So Dassault Systèmes is a French company that initially was part of the group Dassault Aviation that produced military aircraft like the Mirage or the Rafale. But the subsidiary spun off in 1981 when they launched the 3D design software called Catia, and then became Dassault Systèmes. Today, Dassault Systèmes is known as the French tech company that is leader in PLM, product lifecycle management. It has over 20,000 employees worldwide, but more important, about 25 million users spread in 140 countries. That's quite impressive. Since its creation, Dassault Systèmes grew bigger and acquired more than 20 software to add to their portfolio, like Solidworks for modeling, Abacus for FEM simulation, Matrix 1 for PLM, and many more. However, it is hard to handle so many different softwares with different interfaces and different files formats. Therefore, in 2012, Dassault Systèmes launched the 3D Experience platform, a platform that merges all the software together. And it is not only for engineers. This is a business platform for everybody in your organization, from engineer to marketing to sales to management. As you can see from this picture, the logo of the 3D Experience is a compass divided in 4 domains that represent all the different applications: 3D modeling, simulation, social and collaboration, information intelligence. The main advantages of the 3D Experience platform are, first, productivity. Because all of these software share the same data model, it means there is no loss of data while transferring from a software to another. And secondly, efficiency, since everybody in the organization from different disciplines share the same interface while using the software. So I will briefly explain you what is the 3D Experience platform. So let's get to the basics. It is a platform that gives you access to a catalog of applications. And this application allows you to design, simulate, inform, and collaborate on a project. Let's say, for instance, you want to create an RC helicopter like a toy. there will be more than one person involved in this project. For instance, an electrical engineer, a simulation analyst, a mechanical designer, a marketer. Well, then everybody logged to the 3D Experience platform to work together. And then each individual receive their own personal package that contains application. And since these applications are collaborative, everybody can work together anywhere. To resume, with the 3D Experience platform, everything is on the cloud. It also means that anyone can log on any devices at any time, everywhere, in total security. And of course, you will never lose any of your data. It also means that you can share what you want with who you want and keep what you want private, well private. And thanks to these project management tools, each individual can share their agendas and progress on the project. So the 3D Experience is a very powerful toolbox for you. In conclusion here, we have seen that the 3D Experience is a collaborative platform and it is on cloud, meaning that you can use it anytime, everywhere you want. So back to you, Victor. Here we have a second question for the poll.
Yes, thanks, Maxime. Yeah, we'd like to ask you how many of you have heard about the 3D Experience platform before. So let me launch the little poll here. All right. All right, just a few more seconds. All right. Thank you for your answers. Let's take a look at the results here. All right. Nice to see that 81% have heard about the platform before, and for 19% of your audience, this is something new to you. All right.
Okay, that's good news. Let's continue.
Yep.
Okay, so we briefly introduced the 3D Experience, but how concretely does it work? In this section here, I will explain how to access the 3D Experience platform, how can we collaborate on the cloud, and how can we organize the data and search information. So there is one thing we need to clarify first, is that the 3D Experience platform can be accessed on two levels. First, the web interface. As you can see here, you will log with a user and a password, and then you can access it via any kind of web browser on the PC, smartphone, or tablet, so any devices. And then you log on the 3D Experience, and you can collaborate with the different users using social dashboarding. It is like a blog, ideas creation, task management, or project planning. But you can also review 3D model thanks to a 3D viewer online and access bill of material of an assembly, do some lightweight design, and also lightweight lifecycle management. However, when it comes to more advanced functionality, then you will need to have access to the rich client. That is the software that you will install on your machine, and then you will use it for modeling, so part assembly, making drafting, then manufacturing or simulation using Simulia products, rendering or advanced lifecycle. So what is very important here to understand is that you can either access it via the web interface or the rich client for different purposes. So now how can we collaborate on the cloud? As you have seen on top here, we have the platform with the data that is stored on the cloud. And for Europe, it's a server based in Paris. And then we have seen also that the user can connect to the 3D Experience platform with the login and a password. And this person needs to access the data. So the data is located in different collaborative spaces that the user can access according to different access rights. For instance, here, I could access my personal collaborative space since it's private and it's only for me. And I can also access the common space that everybody can access that belongs to the organization since it's public. Then we can add another user, for example, a colleague. This person can also access the common space since it's public on the organization, but more important, we can both collaborate on the same project using a different collaborative space. In that case here, project A. And obviously, you can have as many users as you want and decide who can access what. Finally, you can also invite a subcontractor to the platform, and this person could provide a purchase part, a standard component in a different collaborative space, and then you can collaborate with this person as well. But how can we organize the data? We have seen here, that is just an example, but we have seen that the project could be a collaborative space. If that is the case, I can split my project in different categories using bookmarks. And that is the first level of splitting information. There, I decided to split in my project in design part and standard component. But I could also have decided to split with purchase part or different revision of the assembly. This is really up to you to decide how you want to differentiate the categories. And then if you want to classify even more, then you can use folders that will make even more categories. In that case here, I decided to split my design part in 2 folders, top assembly and lower assembly, and make different libraries for my standard component, like nut libraries and screw libraries, etc. However, if you're a bit like me and you don't necessarily want to categorize everything in bookmarks and folder, then you can let the software search the information for you. In that case here, I can show all the results that belongs to my 3D experience, so all my content. I get 25,000 results in that case, and thanks to 6W tag question, I can filter this result. I can select a filter for part, assembly, drawing, material, etc. One that I like very much is the root product. In that case here, I can search all the root assembly that belongs to my platform. And you can also write on the search bar on top, as I've done here, part, for example, that shows me all the part and also all the element containing part in that title. So it's very easy to search the information. What we have seen here is we can access the 3D experience via a web browser or a rich client. Also, different users can connect to the platform and collaborate using collaborative spaces according to access rights. And finally, it is possible to organize the data, but also very easy to search the information. So back to you, Victor. I think we have our last question for our poll.
Yes, we do. So we're curious to know what CAD software do you use in your current work environment? So let me launch the poll. All right, we still have some answers coming in, so we're going to give it a few more seconds. All right, let's close it up there and take a look at the results. So we have some replies here. We have, and thank you for your answers, by the way. And we have 10% is using Catia, 70% is on Solidworks, 3D Experience, 7%, and then other CAD software with 13%. That's right.
The majority of Solidworks, but still I'm happy to see there is some Catia and 3D experience user.
Yeah, I'm happy to see there are a lot of Solidworks users. All right.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going.
Yes. So let's look at this last part of the webinar. What is Catia 3D experience and how can it improve your ways of working? In this section here, I will explain you what is Catia, what are the roles and application, and what are the 3 main advantages working with Catia 3D experience. So first, what is Catia? Catia stands for Computer-Aided 3-Dimensional Interactive Application. What a long name. Just for meaning that it's a multi-CAD software that we use for designing, machining, and simulation. And as you have probably seen this blue screen before, as it's quite famous in the industry for the past 25 years, this is Catia V5, the previous version of Catia. And we could link it with a PDM software called SmartTeam that were optional, but will be helpful for managing and organizing the data. However, these were two different software that you had to install and maintain. Today, we talk about Catia 3D Experience. And as you can see from this video, the rendering graphic has been significantly improved, as well as the new interface that is a lot more intuitive. There's been a lot of new functionality that's been added to Catia 3D Experience, but I cannot mention all of them, so I will just mention two that I really like. The contextual toolbar in Power Design that allows you to design efficiently, and engineering connection in assembly design that allows you to animate mechanism. But more important, since Catia is on the platform, it benefits from a fully integrated PLM system that brings a lot more robustness to the system when it comes to savings, modifying the status of a part, modifying the revision, and of course, tracking all of these changes. So that is the very important part compared to Catia V5. When it comes to licensing, I like to picture it as a company that have several disciplines, a project and product manager, a mechanical designer, a FEM analyst, and many more. Well, in the 3D Experience platform, it is very similar. There are roles that are designed for different disciplines, and each of these roles contain a bundle of application. For instance, let's look at mechanical designer, that is a role. It contains several applications such as power design, generative wireframe and surface, assembly design, and many more. And this application you will use to work with. So you will use in that case for making mechanical part, assembly, drafting, etc. And obviously, if you want to have more application, you can combine these roles together and therefore enhance your workflow. Let's look at the three main advantages of Catia 3D Experience. And the first one I want to talk about is the 3D core engine of Catia that allows you to handle really large assemblies, like this one, for instance, that is a nuclear plant composed of 300,000 components, 139 million triangles. And as you can see from this video, there has advanced material on this component, and still it's not freezing. More important than that, the user here can design in the context of the full assembly, meaning that he can add a hole in that bracket while the assembly is fully open, and still it's not a problem. However, if you feel like it's too hard to handle such a large assembly, you can use assembly filter to minimize the area of work. The second huge advantage of Catia 3D Experience is concurrent engineering, meaning that you can finally have several users working in the same assembly in the same time. And that is very important because there is no read-only mode anymore compared to Catia V5. So in that case here, I have an example with two users logged to the same platform, but located in two different places with two different computers. And that's the way it's shown in the video here. So we have user A in the bottom and user B on top. User B has the assembly of the motorbike already open, while user A on the bottom is modifying this part that is a generator or a clutch, and is adding a few patterns to this part and can save it to the platform. The second user now still working in this assembly can just do a global refresh of the assembly, like F5, and then can see that the clutch has been modified. And it was both of them were working in the same assembly in the same time. Of course, to avoid conflicts between users, then it's possible to reserve the part for yourself. You can work on, and when you are done with it, you can unreserve it so others can open it after. And finally, the last advantages of Catia 3D Experience I'm thinking of is the multi-CAD connection, meaning that you can design with native Catia application and connect other software to the platform like Solidworks. In that case here, we have a user creating an assembly in Catia Assembly Design in the 3D Experience platform. So this will be a product in the 3D Experience, and then you can import different sub-assembly from different software, like this one, Catia V5, because it's compatible in blue. That is the seat of a car, and then you will import a second sub-assembly coming from Solidworks in that case, that is in red, and finally another one coming from another CAD that you will see in color yellow. So what is important to see here is that the top assembly is made in Catia assembly design in the 3D experience, and then we can use engineering connection to connect all these different parts together. And then at the end, when we save, everything will be saved on the platform. So this is very helpful when you have several software in-house and you want to merge them in one platform at the end. So in conclusion here, we have seen that Catia 3D Experience has a more intuitive interface, also much better graphics, but more important, a fully integrated PLM. When it comes to licensing, we have seen that it's packaged by roles for you, and for Catia, it has advanced CAD capabilities. To sum it up, what we have seen about the 3D Experience today is that it's a social and collaborative platform. It is on cloud, meaning that you can use it on any devices, anytime, everywhere. Several users can connect to the platform and collaborate using collaborative spaces according to access rights. It is possible to organize the data, but more important, it's very easy to search the information thanks to the search bar. When it comes to licensing, we have seen that it's packaged by role for you, for your discipline. And for Catia 3D Experience, we have seen that it can handle large assembly. We can have several users working in the same assembly in the same time, and we can connect different software to the platform. So again, here, Catia is not replacing Solidworks, but it can just work with Solidworks part. If you want to know more about Catia 3D Experience and 3D Experience tutorial, I invite you to visit the PLM Technology YouTube channel that you'll find a lot of tutorial that I made. And back to you, Victor. I think these are the next coming webinar, so I will let you talk about that.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Maxime. Yeah, before we move into a Q&A session, let me just mention, if you go to the plmgroup.eu website, our website, and you can find under resources, you can find events and webinars and upcoming content. So don't miss out on our other upcoming webinars about Simulia, also on the 3D Experience platform. Yeah, what is Simulia? What are the benefits of working with simulation in general? We'll be talking about that, and also other webinars and content coming up with tips and tricks. How do you work with simulation and SolidWorks simulation in a good way? So stay tuned for the other webinars. All right. So we're going to move on to a little Q&A session. So please stay and feel free to put any questions you have in the GoToWebinar panel. Later on, when we finish up this, when you close the webinar, you're going to get a little pop-up box that will ask you to answer some survey about what your thoughts are about the webinar. So that would help us a lot. All right. We have some questions coming in here. So again, please find the questions section in the GoToWebinar little side panel. You can put your questions there. Right. So we have, how does 3D Experience compare to other PDM systems?
Okay. Yeah. Well, it is hard to say that it is a PDM software, since the 3D Experience is a PLM, meaning that it does not only manage the data, it also manages the resources, the time, the different user, and much more than that. But if I can say is that the 3D Experience platform is a PLM on top, and then have CAD application, FEM application, rendering application. And today I don't know any CAD software that have a fully PLM integrated in the background. So I think, in my point of view, this is the more important part, is that it's the PLM on top, and then different application for CAD simulation, etc. You want to add something to that, Victor?
Well, just to say that that's really it. The 3D Experience platform is really much more than a PDM system. You have PLM, and you have a platform for a lot of different applications. PDM is just one small part of it. Okay, we have more here. Is it possible to get the full history of the parts when you import to Catia from SolidWorks?
I need to verify this again after the webinar, but I'm pretty sure you can have access to the full history of all the pod has been created, so pod, pocket, etc. But I think you should be able to modify this if you have the SolidWorks role. Am I correct, Victor? We can verify that after anyway and come back to you on this topic.
Yeah, we're going to do that. All right. So how does SolidWorks compare to Catia?
Yeah, well, it's a difficult question. I think we cannot really compare them to. There are two different software used for two different purposes. But I would say that when it comes to Catia, I will use it more for advanced surface modeling, large assembly handling, reverse engineering, and also when you come from different industry that you might, of course, use more in aerospace and automotive. Well, I guess SolidWorks has a more different purpose for that. What do you think about that, Victor?
Yeah, makes sense from what I know. And I could say that SolidWorks might be a bit easier to learn for beginners or a little bit more accessible. But regarding the 3D experience platform, yeah, it's important to know that you can put your SolidWorks files as well as from what you're doing in Catia 3D Experience on the 3D Experience platform. So there's a lot of interaction and compatibility there.
It is maybe easier to compare SolidWorks and Catia V5, but when it comes to 3D Experience, it is looking more similar to each other when it comes to user interface. Of course, still different when it comes to modeling, but they are getting closer in terms of usage.
All right. Do I need the entire platform to do just modeling?
That would be difficult to have the entire platform since there is so many applications. So that's why we talk about roles, really, to have a roles dedicated for your discipline. So having the full 3D experience would be just impossible. There is, even for you to use everything, I don't think you would be able to use everything at 100%. There's so many applications for different purposes, for different discipline. So that's why we have roles dedicated for your job. And of course, you can combine them if you want to do more, but having the entire 3D experience for modeling, no, you will not need that. You want to comment on that, Victor?
No, that's just it. You have, with the apps and roles of the platform, you can be very flexible in which parts that you actually use. So you will get only those. Is there a way of getting a Catia license or similar for private persons or small companies? How can one test it nowadays?
Is there a way of getting a Catia license similar for private person? I think for private person, there is maybe something now called COE that you can go directly to Dassault system if you are just a personal user and don't have a company name. But if you are a small company, normally we do evaluation license. So what happens is the small company or any kind of company have to contact the local reseller. If you are based in Scandinavia, that would be us. And then we can have contact first to understand your need. And when we have understand the need for the company, then we can order an evaluation license for 2 or 3 months and then start a project. And that's how we do it.
Yep, that's great. Do you prefer SolidWorks PDM or 3D Experience?
This question is for you, Victor.
I think we should answer it both, I think. But if we just look at the PDM side or the PDM functionality in the 3D Experience, because we talked about that you can expand it and do a lot more. You have the entire PLM functionality and simulation apps and a lot more. But if we just look at the pure PDM functionality, then from what I know, you have a little bit more customizability in SolidWorks PDM, if that's what you want. I do prefer 3D experience for that, because then just because what I get access to and what I can use or other tools if I have it, if that makes sense. What would you say? Maxime, you have anything to?
I have no experience with SolidWorks PDM, so I cannot say, but I have experience with the 3D experience platform. And when it comes to PLM, what I love is the fact that it is so safe because of the cloud, meaning that you have a problem during your day or something goes wrong, no electricity, your PC shut down, whatever, you will always have safe backup from the tooling system. And I love the fact that we can now have assembly with revision and changing maturity, and almost don't. It's so easy. It's almost in the background as it's part of Catia, so it's so easy to do. You don't have to run 2 different software. So I don't know what it is in SolidWorks PDM, but when compared to Catia V5 and Smart Team, that is a big improvement. That's for sure.
All right. Please feel free to answer, or rather ask any questions you have, high, low, simple, complex. We're happy to do our best to answer any questions you might have. Do you have experience on the DELMIA products?
Yeah. So okay. So the DELMIA part is for the people that don't know, is the, we haven't talked about it today, but it's another brand in Dassault system, and that's the manufacturing machining. So I do not have, because there is so much also in DELMIA. You have robots machining, you have welding capabilities, you have manufacturing or planning a whole plant, you have ergonomics. So I use the ergonomics myself, but I do not have so much when it comes to machining. Then PLM group is not does not have the skill on the DELMIA part, at least. But I have seen it, and again, what is very nice is that you can combine Catia with DELMIA. That's in the same platform, same interface, so they're very easy to use. DELMIA will be on top of Catia though, because, or in terms of architecture and the software, meaning that with Catia you will make a product or a part, and then DELMIA will be a parent of this product or part, and there you will have a file that contains the product, the resources, and the time. And then it's more like a process. And if you want to machine a part, then you will have the resource, that is the part coming from Catia or SolidWorks, and then you will have the path for the machine, the tool, and the resources, the employees working there, so etc. But it's very, very nice. But I do not myself have a strong experience with DELMIA.
All right. What about offline work? Can you work with your files offline somehow, even though it's all on the cloud?
Yes, there is a work offline capabilities, and the way it's working is, let's say that you want to travel to a place where there is no internet, then you will maybe go for a week or something like that, and then you can extract your license for a certain amount of days, up to 30 days. So let's say 7 days, you extract your license, then you will work locally on your machine, and then when you're coming back and connect to the internet, then you will synchronize your work to the 3D Experience platform. So this is how it's working. Do you have more questions, Victor?
Let's see. How do I get the 3D experience? Well,
we have answered part of this. Is you will contact your local reseller, like us, for Scandinavia, and then we will start a discussion, and yes, we will find your need and then find the appropriate roles for you, for the company at least, and then we can even provide training and online training. So this is how it will work. And of course, provide the evaluation license if you want to start using the software.
Absolutely. Okay, we have a question here. What is the 3D experience search mechanism? Is it an index search or real time?
Okay, so I am not IT specialist on that, but I know it's an index search, and the way it will work is, well, you write what you want on the search bar, but if you have created something quite recently, it might not show up automatically, but then we have an option that allows you to search in your recent content, and then I think you will have a cache system where your part has been saved in the cache and then is synchronized with the platform. So yeah, if hopefully that answered. Do you know a bit more on that, Viktor? We can also come back to this later.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. But as far as I know, this is how it works. You have the indexing, like you say, and then the option to search in more recent content. Yeah, so yeah. All right. Do we have any more questions?
I am pleased to see that we had some question at least.
You are, of course, always welcome to come back to us after the webinar with any other questions or anything you wish to know more about. So that's why we're here.
We have
but
a
I think we have something coming in here. Is there a migration path from Smart Team to 3D Experience?
It's been a topic discussed a lot in Dassault system. The Dassault system is providing the tool. I am not completely sure if it's fully ready yet. I know we were talking about this already a few years ago. There is maybe a tool made by Dassault now. However, I've not used it myself, so I cannot say. But normally there is a tool that will map the table of customized attributes from Smart Team to the 3D experience. There is, yeah, there must be something, but I cannot come back and contact few colleagues of mine in Dassault system about that. There is a user that say, Ismail is saying we can use the batch module for data transfer. That might be possible. This is relatively, this is quite advanced question, so we can come back to you on that with mail and bringing more information.
All right. I don't see we have much more coming in, so thanks for your questions so far.
Yeah. Well, then if there is no more question, I would like to thank you first for joining this webinar. And I hope
Yes.
to learn a bit more about 3D experience first, and then seeing the advantages working with Catia on the cloud.
Great. Thanks for attending. Please don't forget to answer the survey that's going to pop up when you close the webinar.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.